All right, cool. We are recording right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the DJ Greg podcast. I'm glad you're here. Check it out. Today's guest not only expected to achieve his goals this year, but to exceed them as well. He's the hottest DJ in Harker Heights, Texas, providing fun and professionalism, but he's also a financial guru who invites you on a journey to get rich. Here to share his DJ success and financial knowledge is my man, Gerald Reddick, Superman live in the mix
All
on
right.
B5 Productions. What's up, player?
Hey, it's all good on this end, man. Just living it up here in Texas.
All right, all right. I love it. It's warm, you know.
Our weather's bipolar. it, we get it cold, hot, rain, barely snow.
Y'all ain't getting no snow, man. I see
Nah,
70s and 80s.
yeah, but you never know what you get in the course of a day in the winter here, man. It could be like, hey, let's wear shorts. Hey, I need a blazer.
Right, right. You
In
come
a
up here to
day.
Minnesota, you come up here to Minnesota, man, and bipolar has a whole new meaning when it
Yeah.
comes to weather, man. We about to get into it, but that's okay. That's okay. We're gonna survive. Okay,
Uh-huh.
with all the success that's coming your way, I've seen the postings, the YouTube videos. What are you most proud of right now?
My accomplishments this year. Because you know our industry was shut down like most other businesses back in March of
Right,
2020. So the thing I had to think about was I had this goal because like most people that we were all excited for 2020 because new decade and it just came with this great energy behind it. Everybody's like, yeah, we're about to do it. And I was
right,
on a course to really do it, like by really do it. So when
right.
things shut down, I had to think about like, how am I still gonna make this goal I put up? It was all on my dry erase board and little notes in my phone, and
Okay.
it's kind of like it looks realistic to accomplish. When the industry shut down, and I hadn't gigged for like 2 months, man.
Wow.
Just about so no performances, but a lot of shifting around. So the thing I'm most proud of is the fact that I was able to still accomplish a financial goal of 150K in 2020. That still blows my mind.
Wow. Wow.
And a bonus goal of 10K. So that was like, and it's still going. I just kind of stopped. I didn't want to do like a bonus goal. At that point, I'm just like, whatever happens,
You
man.
did
I'm just,
you did the bonus like in 10 days.
yeah, that was pretty phenomenal, actually. Nothing. It's not really planned, man. It's one of
Hmm.
those. I just kind of emailed a lot of couples and did my due diligence with follow-ups, getting the
Right.
bookings,
Hmm.
and so that in itself made it happen. I think you and I both participate in bridal shows or at least open houses of some sort
Yep.
in our industry, and we get to meet a lot of amazing couples or brides to be that come through. But it's always that daunting task of following up on the emails, right?
Right, right. Yeah, you got to stay with it. You got to keep letting them know you're here for them, and
Yeah.
it's it's just like any other advertiser, man. When somebody wants your business, man, they'll email you every day, they'll call you every day,
Oh
they'll give
yeah.
you a deal every day, and that's the same thing that we have to do to get into these guys' heads. That hey, Gerald is here for you, man. I think you should check him out because he's on you and he's about your business as well. That's what counts.
Yeah, I was always blessed, excuse me, I was always blessed, man, to just, be successful at what it is I got to do. If it's build something or put a toy together or, I'd take this apart and figure out how it works if, I put my mind to it.
Right.
But I was thinking about, people in my industry. I was like, man, how are people really doing? And that made me really concerned. And one thing I always wanted to share was not only DJ tips to help the other DJs, because I don't see other DJs as mere competition. You guys are just, other guys trying to make it, and that's the way I view people.
Right.
I mean, I get it. If it's me and you in the same city and there's a customer, I want the customer just like you want the customer.
Right.
But at the same time, I feel like I'm so blessed that, I'm okay to share and I want other people to genuinely succeed. It don't matter if you're a DJ too.
That's
So
cool.
I think that for DJs out there listening, you have got to have a sense of go-getter about yourself. And like I mentioned earlier, one of the things that I really don't like to do is like I meet all the brides and I prefer them all just book on the spot. But realistically,
Yeah. Yeah.
they're just information shopping. So you
Right.
got to do
Exactly.
your follow-ups. You got to do that. And so with that bonus goal part of it, let's first back up to the main goal, the 150K.
Mm-hmm.
That came due to a shift of how I was going to earn income. So I just got into the emails a little bit. I started getting more bookings, right? Then there
Mm-hmm.
was, of course, the word of mouth and the wedding planners and venue owners that you're connected to. So bookings were still happening. The
Okay.
part that wasn't happening was all those events that I would have performed for them 2 months, the other half of that pay.
Yeah.
So the deposits was already done early in the year and back in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
But, so the revenue from all the, hey, you owe me the other half, well, that wasn't happening. That's all
Right. Right.
postponed now. And plus some refunds on the shutdown. So
Yeah.
I was giving out stimulus checks too.
And those hurt, man.
Yeah, you just like, what? When you get them, it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you got to give it back. It's like,
It's like, ooh, man. I mean, and it hurts bad, man. It's just like, ooh, yeah,
yeah.
all that energy for this, not good.
Oh, man.
Not
It,
good at
it, it
all.
was a mental shift too, Greg, when everything shut down. So the mentality for me became I just kind of stared at my goals on the computer and I was looking over at the dry erase board too. And I just became like this really crazy person. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this. That was the first thing I determined that I'm going to do it.
Right on.
So I just shifted on how I did it. So it was the emails for the brides, and then I learned how to trade stocks because I've already had a Roth IRA before, but that's just parked and letting the company handle it. It's
Right.
like you put your money there, and yeah, y'all got it, man. Just as long as it grows every year, cool.
There you go.
But I was like, wait a minute, there's some opportunity here, man. Like, you got to jump on this. Like, I saw my stock portfolio, my Roth IRA dip by thousands.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
panicked or nothing because I know that's my long-term money. It's
Right.
tied up, it'll recover. And
Yep.
right now, today, the amount that I put into it, it
Mm-hmm.
doubled.
Nice. Oh
You
man.
know?
Man.
So again, there was no worries. It pretty much bounced back and then increased a little more because I was able to buy some more shares of stocks before the crash actually happened. I went in and I
Okay.
asked about Royal Caribbean. So I caught them at 29. Right now they're rocking about 78 or something like that.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
78 or
yeah,
8.
about that.
Yeah.
So imagine, you buy like a bunch of shares of that at $29 and then your money like over doubled right now. you know. And so that was the thing that I really by the end of March, I really became like, wait a minute, I need to get up on this. I need to find out like what's hot. And right now I was, running with the EV stocks a lot. So that was one way, following up on the customers. Um, and then I was doing little things too. That whole Zoom party thing, like
Yeah.
with you and I on a conference, I hooked my DJ control into that and figured it out. And I was like doing birthday parties on
There you
Tuesdays or
go.
Mondays for whatever, you know.
Nice.
And then it just started spreading because we all have the world's attention online.
Right. Right. Exactly. And
Yes,
you
sir. So
gotta, like you said in one of your Facebook posts, man, you wrote that you gotta pivot and you gotta be out there and always look for the next opportunity.
yes,
So that is the magic. And then you gotta have a little bit of magic, man. You seem to have this. like magnetism, man. You put it down on paper and then you be like, okay, I'm a devise a formula that's going to work. I'm just going to be patient with it, take its time. And then, I don't know, 10 days later, it just doubles up on
So that 10 days, like,
you.
I honestly didn't plan for that to happen in 10 days. It just so happened to happen in 10 days, right?
Wow.
Because those those bookings were coming like back to back, man. It was just like I had to process it. I would come back here, sit down, and I just really think like, wow, like the energy of that. But here
Right.
here's what I find, right? I know you probably heard this before, but there's what's called a law of attraction,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
And you naturally have that, right? We were in Mobile Beat. We're standing out there. I remember it vividly. Phil Morris was out there in the, hall or
Yep.
whatever. You were talking to him. I walked up. We started talking. We traded numbers. It was
Right.
because your energy, your positivity, the things you said to me, we shook hands. It was
Right.
like instant friendship right there, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah, and
And
I
so
felt it too.
so when you have the law of attraction working for you, well, then it becomes, you know, put it out there. I think part
Mm.
of me putting out my goals publicly was a sense of accountability for me, but it was
Mm-hmm.
inspiration for other people. Now, I did get a couple of inboxes like, oh, you're coming off like you're bragging. And I was like, nah, that's not even it. I don't have to brag, you
Right.
know? But it was like, with all the bad news out there, like somebody needs some good news. Like somebody need to be inspired to know, like, hey, man, we can get through this. Like there was
Right.
recessions before this one. There
Yep.
was swine flu and polio and measles and all kind of stuff then broke out. We went through AIDS and,
Right.
we done made it, bro.
Right.
Twin Towers then came down. We made it through some stuff.
That's right.
So I believe that if you're resilient, you have a plan, um, you can get through it, man. And so that was my thing with posting like that because it gave me a sense of accountability. I was like, oh man, people watching now. I can't fail now.
Dude,
It's
you know
like
I was on it. I was like,
you
what?
better get it.
I
You
was
know?
like, well, okay, so he got. I was like, man, he's got the six. Now he's going for a couple of more. I was like, yo, you can get it all. I'm one of the. I believe I'm one of the guys that said, look, if you want it all, you can get it all. And I was so happy for you when you got it, but man, I ain't know it was gonna come that quick. I was like, this dude is getting it, man. He ain't playing. And
Yeah,
and and
man.
and that inspires me. I mean, that gets me excited. It's like, okay, well, daggone, man, let me open my eyes up and see what I can do. And then the next man, it should also have that kind of feeling and that kind of action that, just pokes you mentally and charges you up. That
Oh
that
yeah.
that's what that was the thing that was happening. I was like, man, this dude is he's just getting it. He's hungry too. He's hungry. He's humble, but he's hungry. And I
Yes,
see
sir.
that from you, man, all the way through. Oh my goodness, man. I mean, so okay. So we talking about the goals. All right, so what's up for next year? Have you began, putting goals together for 2021?
I actually did. I actually did. So within the realm of G Fire, my business,
Mm-hmm.
there's some equipment I want to buy. That happens every year regardless. There's
Right.
always an ultimate goal. Like for me, it's 10 of these microphones right here, the
Oh my
QLXD.
goodness.
I'm up to 8. So
Okay.
so I had a system. So every year I would be like, okay, how are we looking for concerts or the potential to do this or that next? Or what's our expansion looking like? And
Right.
so that's how I base what equipment I would need for the following year. And I just have a step to go get it, like when I need it. It's not like
Right.
I'm just gonna buy all this stuff up front and it's mostly sitting there. It's
Right.
like let's wait till it get a little closer to me actually needing it. And I'm a firm believer in using what I already have, right?
There
So
you
I don't
go.
buy too much new stuff, but every year I definitely upgrade. Like this year was the year of video equipment because the pandemic pushed me
Pandemic.
into it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, financially, right? And I'm gonna flip my screen here just a little bit to show you my board.
Okay.
because all right, so the goal for next year, I projected to make about 200,000, right?
Okay.
So on the board it says, in 2021, if I follow my 3-year plan to become a millionaire or a 4-year plan, then it's more or less like that's the amounts I need to make every year.
Okay. Okay.
So that's what I'm doing right there.
All right. So 3 years, 207, 4 years, 155.
Yes, per
About
year.
that. Okay. Okay. Let me ask you this question though. Why is it important for you or for anybody else to become a millionaire?
Well, for me, the millionaire is a huge accomplishment, right? I
Hmm.
want you to imagine how the majority of people live. You get your paycheck, you pay some bills, and a lot of people just wing it to the, end of the month and then hit repeat. That's life. Credit here, there, up and down.
Right.
But that's the gist of many people, right?
Right.
So it's this idea that there are no millionaires in our family that I know of.
Hmm.
And that is a pretty huge accomplishment. Now you'll get some that says, "Oh, millionaires, $1 million is not a lot of money," but they're coming from the context of, yeah, if you had $1 million right now and that's all you had to live off of, it would dwindle because of inflation, right?
Right.
But still, to accomplish that for many of us, man, it's a pretty big step, you know.
Right.
And so when you hear you hear many people like, "Oh yeah, I have about 150,000 saved up and stuff," and that's big for a lot of people.
Hmm.
10,000 could be huge for a lot of people who live paycheck to paycheck.
Right.
You know, so imagine like a whole million. So I just thought that, why can't I be a millionaire? And it was an internal question, and I
Mm.
decided to go for it. So that's what I'm doing.
Right on. Right on. And you're gonna be there, dog.
Yes, sir.
I can't wait for that post. That
Oh
way,
man.
that way you can stop saying, because I'm not a millionaire, but I want you to say I'm not a millionaire yet, but I'm on my way. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
But I also do love the fact that you encourage people to go on that journey, with you. You know what I mean? You're not just about yourself. It's like, yo, I just don't want all this money for myself. Yo, look, we can all get it. And that's what I appreciate from your message of doing this thousandaire channel. Speaking of that channel, there's one particular video that I really enjoy. And it's not the one that you're talking strategy or money tips or whatever. It's the one that you're talking about expectations, which is
Oh,
something else that opened up my eyes. Yes. You know what I'm saying? If you sit down and give your goals support and thought, it's like, yeah, as long as I work toward this goal, I should expect to hit it because I'm putting the work in. And for the most part, most of the year, especially earlier this year, I was writing my goals down like every day, things that I wanted, 10 DJs, a booming business,
yeah.
uh, mostly, I'll be frank, mostly a lot of material stuff, but I
Uh-huh.
wasn't, but I wasn't given the reasons why I wanted it,
Oh yeah.
I wanted to, help people in need, all that good stuff too. But I should have said I want this amount of money so I can, go on vacation, so I can help people, those kind of thoughts that you're supporting the reason why you're doing this type of work. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And that expectations video just rubbed me in the way where like, yeah, I put in the work, Greg, and you'll make it. But you got to put in the work and quit playing. You
Yeah,
know?
it's work, man. It's I think many need to understand that too. Like, it's one thing to name it and claim it, right? I'm gonna go back to my board since you said that,
Okay.
and I'm gonna show you just like a few things that I kind of follow mentally and spiritually, and what drives me into my goals, right?
Okay.
So the first thing up top left right there on the screen, I wrote faith with action.
Okay.
Okay. And the reason why I wrote that, because in the spiritual realm and in church, people got this thing about name it and claim it and, believe it
Mhm.
and receive it.
Yes.
That's a good start. Like that's a good phrase out your mouth, speaking it into existence and stuff like that.
Right.
But people have to understand like there's principles to with that, and there's something that says faith without works is dead. So meaning you can believe it, you can name it. I could speak, oh, I'm gonna be a millionaire, but I'm not working. Like I'm gonna be a millionaire. I'm
Right.
not doing anything towards earning $1. I'm just
Mhm.
sitting up, chilling, playing games, letting life go by.
Right.
So you have to understand that like believing is a part of it. Speaking it is another part of it. So you need a combination of all that. Like you need to believe in yourself. You need to, see what's not here right now. Like that's what I do. I always tell people vision has nothing to do with your eyes being open or closed. Vision has everything to do with how you see yourself in the future. Like what do you see yourself at? And
Hmm.
when you come back into this reality, then it's okay, I'm in my room, yeah, I don't have this grand studio like I want, but I see it in the future. Then
Okay.
now what does it take to make that happen?
Right. Work.
Work.
You know what I'm saying? You got to work it. Get on
So
the phone, man.
Napoleon
Start making
Hill
some
said,
calls.
this is what Napoleon Hill said. He said, on one piece of paper, write down everything you want in life or what do you see yourself accomplishing, right?
Right.
So, naturally people gonna write all, oh, I want a house, I want a car, I want some money, I want material, I want a vacation, whatever. Then
Hmm.
he said, on a separate piece of paper, write down what you're willing to give in exchange for that.
Mm.
That just means like you can want this, but you gotta give something in return for that.
Right. Yeah.
So people don't realize part of my get back is my give. Like my giving all this information, helping other DJs, that
Hmm.
fosters relationships. People refer you. I respect venue owners. I support local small businesses. I give to donations. Now, those are the things that I don't post like, hey, I just gave so much money to this.
Right.
I don't do that because I don't need to do that.
Yeah.
But I see like young people trying. I stopped using Axe soap. Not that it was a, bad soap or nothing, but
Mm.
there's a young lady locally. She makes her own soap. So I just want to inspire her by, you know what? You have a customer. And it costs more than Axe, you know?
Oh, wow.
But it's a principle matter. It's like, okay, one bar for $8 versus a $3 bottle of Axe. I could buy 2 bottles of Axe and versus the one
Exactly.
bar. You
Hmm.
definitely take a lot more showers with the 2 bottles of Axe versus the one bar. But
Right.
the principle matter says, this is my give back. Um, I want to support that person. I'm sewing into that person.
Right on,
So,
man.
so
That's
you got
cool.
to do that. And so anytime you want to get somewhere in life, you can't only believe it or name it and claim it, but you also got to work for it.
Absolutely. Yep. So whatever you give out, man, is what you're gonna get. And I even find out, long story short, like when I'm busy, when I'm working, that's when I get the results in.
Oh
And,
yeah.
it just comes, it's like, wait a minute, I didn't even call this person, how this person know to call me up. You know what I mean? It just works like that. Yeah. And I'm beginning to believe in that attraction, like whatever energy you put out there, you get back. So that's a main thing, man. Keep on doing that, man, for real. Keep
Yes,
on
sir.
doing that, regardless of the fact that you're getting some haters. And like my buddy Grant Cardone said, you need haters, because the people the people that don't like you talk about you more than the people that do like you. And
Oh
it's
my
true.
goodness.
You need some haters, dog. So I'm glad you're getting some. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Let me ask you a question though, right?
Yeah,
About
go
that,
for it.
right? Because like I'm the type of person like I never thought I would ever have any because I'm just like I generally get along with people and I try my best not to step on any toes,
Right.
you know? But I do sometimes question like, hey, how come when you post like something like I seen somebody post, I got a job, everybody just like it. Da, 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 da. Now that's not a negative thing, but
Right.
everybody liking it. And then people are posting like, "Oh, I got this business. I started a business." It's like cricket, cricket. Like, why you guys? Come on, man, support that. you know, but then though,
Mm,
it's amazing to me how like a lot of my posts, I feel like they might get like mundane to people. Like they're probably like, man, you always doing something, whatever. So
right.
I don't get a lot of responses. Matter of fact, I can name probably five, 2 to 3 people that automatically respond to a lot of those. Hey, I just did this. It's you, Sherry Madden, and
Mm-hmm.
who's the other person? I don't remember the other person. Or
Right.
maybe Olivia, right? So
Okay.
so it's like the same few people that's like every post, every article I write in thousand there, it's kind of like boom, 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 boom.
Right.
But then it's like I meet so many people out in the community. It's like, oh man, I see you doing your thing, man. So, so what I learned there is like it's not about the likes, it's not about the accolades and stuff like that. My
Mm-hmm.
thing is as long as I'm helping people, right?
There it
So I
is.
always wondered, like, if you run into that getting some haters, like, how do you deal with that? Because
You, that's a
I
very good
just
question,
ignore it,
man.
but how do you deal?
But years ago, I would be, like kind of upset and try to get on that person's side, or try to, solve a problem with, with that person's like, why are you running up on me in such a negative way? But now it's like, this is good news because the people that can't stand you talk about you a lot more. And it's like, all right, keep bringing my name up. You know what I mean? Because that's the only promotion.
That free advertisement
It's
right
free
there.
advertising. It's like, yo, I don't even have to say anything. You don't like me. Like people don't like the Kardashians for whatever reason, but these girls are getting it.
Yep.
And you know what? For me, I can't hate on that. Whatever, get your money. Do your thing. Be out there. Promote your business, whatever.
Yeah,
But
that's a good way to look at it.
haters will promote you, and they don't even know. They don't even know they're doing it though. And
Hmm.
and and that's what I like about haters, because it's true. Because when you're in school, it was always the most popular student, the most popular person, and that don't work. You need some haters. I mean, popularity does work. You want to be out there, people knowing your name, all that kind of stuff. But the people that can't stand you because they think you got it going on and you brag on whatever, yes, because you got the swag and they don't. So what are you gonna do? You can get your own swag, man, if you level up. Don't hate on me.
Yeah, yeah.
This is Gerald Reddick, man. I'm talking about we could all get it. Take a journey
Yep.
with me. Why you hating on me?
Yes, sir.
I'm asking you to take a journey with me and you hating on me? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Get your head right.
I tell you what, man, I've just had to kind of disconnect from somebody because I made a positive post. I think that that's one of the other things that drives me mentally. A positive attitude. I try to find the learning lesson in a problem if I encounter it, or I
Right.
always look for the positive side of it. Right. I deal with it all, but so I had to disconnect from somebody, and I want to tell everybody this. Right.
Right on.
Negativity is toxic. It's a downer. It's a buzzkill.
Right on.
Separate yourself, disconnect from that idea because when you get around those kind of people, it just kind of like sets a different tone for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had to disconnect from some people on Facebook, like maybe unfollow them, or some people I just totally just like disconnected from
Right.
because it's like, here's a post that you made in relationships to business. I offer up a positive solution, and you're like, oh, I didn't ask your opinion. I didn't ask a question. I just put my statement out there.
Right.
So I was kind of like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't want to offend nobody, but.
Right.
And so after a while, probably a couple of months, another actual question popped up. So I rolled out with an answer, making again a positive suggestion, and it turned
Yeah.
into don't promote on my page. So I was kind of like thrown
Mm.
back by it. So I was like, you know what? I think that's what I'm going to disconnect from right there because
Right.
I do believe that there are some people who thrive on negativity or drama, as we call
Mm-hmm.
it.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that one relative you call like, "Hey, how you doing, grandma?" Oh, well, I got the gout and my elbow, my tennis elbow acting up, and arthritis got me. And
Yeah,
all
and it just
right,
drags you down. It's like,
are
wait
you
a
breathing? Can you eat still? Are your bills paid? I'm just like trying to flip it. Like, come on. Like
minute.
every
Right,
time I call you,
right.
you gotta let everybody know all the problems.
Yeah, it's like, come on, for real. And it's it's crazy, man. Some people will post up, that they got a headache and and they can't go to sleep. It's like, okay, why are you posting this stuff?
Yeah,
Why, if you got a headache, the last thing I want to do is go on social media and say I got a headache. I want to end the headache.
yeah. But I just think that, man, positivity goes a long way. Like it's such a great energy, man. Especially during this time. It's really, for me, man, it's like I had to really amp it up and turn it on because not only like everybody else, I'm dealing with my own challenges, here and there, to be honest,
Right, right.
like everybody has like, oh, I'm going through a sluggish day. I'm just dragging my feet. Like, oh, I'm just like, I'm stuck. I don't even, where's my creativity today? I don't even know what to vlog about,
Right,
or there's stuff I got to do, but I don't know where to start. I go through those periods, right?
right.
But then after I shake it and get to going, that's just me getting to going. But I don't need to be on social media all the time. Like every
Mhm.
time there's a problem, I'm
Right.
looking. I'm solution based.
And there it is.
Yes,
There it
sir.
is. And for me, Facebook is any social media. It's all about business and positivity. For me, that's what it's all about.
You
You may
got it.
not see me, like on the motorcycle riding around or any other extracurricular activities that I do, but
Uh-huh.
when I'm on, I'm talking. You know me. I'm talking about either DJing or I'm talking about business or I'm talking about going to this venue, that venue, whatever, and
Yeah.
mixing it up. Whatever pertains to the business and keeping it positive is all I want to do. But you keep on doing the same thing too.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, don't let the haters get to you, man. Don't even let the haters get to you. The haters are
Yeah.
not the problem.
Yeah, I'm Jay-Z with it.
You know what I'm saying?
That dirt off my shoulder. Look.
Right. That's my dude right there, man. But yo, getting back to the financial part. Before we went on the air, we were talking about Webull, which is an app that you can use for your day trading. How did you get into that app? Who introduced you to it, and is it easy to navigate? Give us a little skinny on that.
Okay, I got into it. I did hear it. Like sometime I'd be watching YouTube videos, and there's a guy named Meet Kevin.
Okay.
I watch a lot of his videos, and he'd always be like, "Yeah, for 2 free stocks, just go through the link below." Right, and it's one of them. Okay, I always hearing this Weeble, but it just blows over. So
Right.
then it was one of my DJs, Dylan, called me. It was
Mm.
like, "Hey man, you need to get on day trading." I was like, "Yeah, I know. I'm kind of stuck with my, Edward Jones, but that's a Roth IRA. So it's like by the time I get in touch with this dude, want to make a move, the opportunity's gone." So,
Right.
so,
Right.
so Dylan taught me about Weeble. He said, "Hey, if you're gonna do it, man, sign up through this link. I'll get some credit, and you get, when you deposit $100, you'll get 2 free stocks." I was like,
Okay.
"Cool, I got you." So I did it. And then it was like, okay, I'm signed up. Now what? Then I was like, you know what? Let me throw some money at it. So I threw about 2,500 into it, and I was a little dibbling and dabbling. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, man, this is pretty crazy. Like, I just like bought these stocks and then sold them at a higher price, and like now I got 3,000. I was just like,
Right. Right. Now, what do you do
it's
with the
like,
three?
man. So then I threw another 5Gs in it,
Oh my goodness.
and then I was like, now I can get to work. So I bought like so Dylan and I we're talking. He's like trying to put me onto all this EV stock, electronic vehicles.
Okay.
It's just blowing over my head, and I'm just like, wait, what? Like what? But I trust him. So I just started watching like the news, like slowly but surely, like
Mm-hmm.
how everything ties,
Right.
together. Like
Right.
what's going on with the coronavirus, what's happening with Trump's tweets,
Mm-hmm.
the trade war with China. like all this different stuff. I'm like, I'm kind of putting it all together, and I'm like, you
Right.
know what, man, I'm woke now, so I'm
Mm-hmm.
lit. I'm just like, hey, China wants 25% of their vehicle in over there to be all electronic by 2024.
Mm.
There, so I looked at a company called Neo, and they're backed by the Chinese government, so they are producing.
Right.
They,
Dive
they're,
in.
they're able to now produce like 5,000 vehicles a month, and their financials look good. So it just went from like I jumped in, man, at the time. I caught them around 18, right? I looked
Mm-hmm.
at them when they were like $13.
Right. Right.
Bought these stocks at 18, man. They jumped up to like 50.
Woo. Woo.
It jumped up like 50, almost $60, man.
Oh wow.
So when they came down like about 52, I was like, sell 300 of these. You do the math on the difference of what I made. That's like 26 G's right there.
That's how you be busting your goals, man.
So it was kind of like just so now it's
Hmm.
like now you got to have stomach too because there's some times where it's like, oh man, I missed that when I lost, you know. But
Right.
I win a lot more than I lose,
Hey, that's
you
what it's
know.
all about.
And then even if it's just sitting there, like let's say you're holding certain stocks.
Hmm.
So right now, man, the market is up and down because it's so volatile, you know, with the way the economy is working. Like
Right.
if people are not working because jobs had to lay them off, then they're not spending money in the economy, and
Hmm.
then it just runs a circle. So if people are not spending money, the business is not making money, so they have to lay people off, and
Right.
so their stock valuations start to drop, you know. So
Hmm.
so I so so right now, like it's a great time, man, like to make some money if you pay attention, know what you're doing. Whether you're a long hold or a day trader, but I think this is a great time to day trade because if all things were normal, the stocks would, you could still day trade, but it wouldn't be as like moving as much up or down like it is right now.
Right. Right.
Just something as simple as Biden won the election. Boom, EV stocks was because he's
Man.
about that life. And see, when you're paying attention, he's about that life and he wants to have a better relationship with China, you know. So you
Right.
put all that together, it's kind of like a no-brainer. It's like, you know what?
This is the way to go.
And that was one way. And then obviously there were airlines that we call them recovery industry or the bounce back industry,
Yeah.
cruise, airlines,
Hmm.
traveling,
Right.
hotels.
Yeah. You can
Well,
probably
we
buy
got a
them low
hotel for
right
cheap
now.
in Dallas. Look, we,
That's
I
crazy.
was like, how much is this normally? Because even when I paid for it, I was like, that can't be right. I'm in downtown Dallas next to Reunion Tower
Oh wow.
in a nice suite.
What?
We're just like, yeah, we definitely got over on this. But that's the nature of
Hmm.
all those hotels. It's like, hey, grab some money or no money. What do you want to do?
Right, right. And
You know?
and you know, you probably could, I saw something on Sun Country where you can fly for like $29, but the travelers stop moving right now. So of course they're gonna throw it at you. But is it a good idea at this time to like maybe buy low and just hang in there and then hopefully that once this pandemic is over, it's gonna shoot right up. I mean, that's what
Yeah,
normal
yeah, I think
prediction.
I think there's two ways, man. Like when you hear the term day trading, that's for
Hmm.
people who just want to jump in and out. Like I might get on a Monday,
Hmm.
see where the market's at, what it's doing. I'll do a little research first. And it's like, okay, I see all the selling. You got those people who are, selling, selling, selling. It gets to a point. I
Yep.
went back and looked at the chart and I'm just make a determination like if it gets to this point, this is where I'm going to buy. It might continue to keep going or it might flip, turn around, come up,
Right.
right? But eventually it's going to come up. So I just buy it at a price, you know, and it might come up like $2 and I might decide, you know what, I'm gonna sell that and be satisfied. So I might make $100 right quick or 200.
Right
But
on.
but see, that's the opportunity available though. Like you could just sit there for 20 minutes, maybe an hour or two, and be like, I'll make $100 or $50 or, like I'm done. And if you really don't want to sit there, these apps allow you to, hey, buy this stock when it reached down here, and when it
Hmm.
comes up here, sell it. You can set it up like that and don't even have to be sitting there watching it.
Okay, so I need some Weeble training.
Yes. So,
For
so I got
sure.
on, I had to do a couple of YouTubes, here and there to see how it works and talk to Dylan since he's, doing it.
Shout out to Dylan.
Yeah, but that's what I've been doing. So actually, at least four, five, yeah, at least five of our DJs, we're
Yeah.
talking about stocks all the time.
Oh wow. Okay. Hey,
We're
you
just
know,
like, it's like getting it.
but that's the way it should be though, man, because you gotta think. I got this picture here, probably that says maybe think outside the box or
Yeah, yeah.
color the lines. But that's the way you gotta think rather than just being closed-minded, man. I always think about the time when the pandemic hit and I knew nothing about Zoom. Everybody's Zooming. And I'm like, okay, why didn't I buy any Zoom stuff? Months later, I'm like, man, why didn't I buy
Woo!
any Zoom stock? Because that thing really took off from what I'm hearing. I mean,
Yeah,
that
Zoom,
was the one.
Zoom on
Yeah,
something else.
it's 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 a missed opportunity. You know what I'm saying? But there are others.
Now here's
There are
here's what I
others.
learned about Zoom. Like, they're averaging up there around the 400s, right? They
Hmm.
even got as high as 500 and some at one point.
Wow.
So at the idea of, okay, the vaccines, right? That's what caused them to drop from like the fives or high fours to, start dip closer to four. At some point they went back down to 380. Because
Okay.
it was what it is that there's a lot of that as panic selling and also uh, the thought process of the economy opening back up. So
Hmm.
maybe now, as many people don't need those accounts anymore, right?
Right. Right.
But let's pretend like even if they just dip to like $200, if you bought that stock and you held it from $60 to $200, you are
Mm.
still winning.
Oh yeah. Oh, big
And
time.
and regardless of what people think, that's going to be part of the new normal regardless. The way we're communicating here,
Right.
like Facebook Messenger is cool and all that, but many people are now trained on a more professional setting. I mean, look at our backgrounds, man. We can get on and you
Right.
could show me a slide, you could record the meeting, and we could
Exactly.
hook up music and all kind of stuff to Zoom. So this is the way now, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
in corporate, they're already thinking like, well, do we really need that office space? See what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah, they're starting to rethink things. I'm in a 14-story building, and only half of it is being used right now.
Yeah.
So even they're starting to think, oh man, we can leave these guys home. We still getting production and save on the real estate, and
Yes,
just
sir.
bank that money.
So that's what you got to try to think about stocks. Like if you could just imagine like which way is the world's going and what's the new niches out there? Like who's having potential to grow now? People like Apple, they
Yeah.
just did a stock split, for example, because Apple was another one of those $400 stocks. So they did a four-way split. So now
Mm.
instead of one stock at 400, you have four stocks at 100, for
Okay.
example.
Okay.
So what that did was allow more people to say, well, I could buy $100 stock, but at 400, like, nah,
Nah,
I
nah,
ain't
you
messing
ain't
with
gonna shy
Tesla.
away from it.
You
Right.
know, but they're like, nah, I ain't messing with that, them and Apple like that. But
Right.
but that's what happens. But but no. If you look back, Apple just grows. They have their dips, but
Mm-hmm.
Apple just grows.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah.
I have some in both Weeble and in Edward Jones. Edward Jones, that's more like, yeah, just let that ride. Weeble
Mm-hmm.
is more like, oh, they went to 114 today, buy some. Hey, they're up at 123, sell it.
Sell it. Yep.
That's all I use Weeble for is my quick hit money.
Right on. Right
Yeah.
on. Get it. But you don't cash out in a way where, they take out a whole lot of taxes. You just flip it. You just
So there
like,
will be taxes for that because like a Roth IRA, for example,
yeah.
is pre-tax money. So when you put that money in there, all the gains are tax free when you
Okay.
take it out. But a traditional IRA, if you start that, you will be taxed on the gains.
Okay.
And so in Weeble, you'll get taxed on the gains because, there's no tax incentive for you there like that,
Right. Right.
you know.
Okay. But
So
still, if
so
you,
that's why, like, let's say if I made like that 26 grand or whatever,
uh-huh.
to pay taxes. If I pull that out in cash and slam it into my bank account, I
Yep.
pay taxes on
Yep.
it. They're gonna send me a 1099
Oh
or
yeah.
something.
Yeah, because that's all income.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got to report that, no doubt.
But I mean, you still winning. That's money you didn't have
Oh,
before.
no doubt.
So
Yeah, you still up,
you still up.
pay these guys off, pay Caesar and party up, man. Do what you want
Keep
to do.
keep it moving.
Yeah, the tremendous opportunities out there. Hey, my man, in closing, because I know we've been, chatting it up and really appreciate your time. In closing, as you continue to look for the next opportunity, right now, if you think about it, what do you think that next opportunity would be?
I think for me, probably concerts. It's
Mm.
been heavy on my mind throughout the year, actually. We have this thing called South by Southwest out here in Texas, right? So
Hmm. I
pretty
heard
big
of it.
events and concerts and stuff like that. And
Right.
it's held in Austin, Texas. But I'm always thinking like, well, if they could do it, I could do it. Or if Mobile Beat could do it, G-Fire can do it. Those are always my thoughts. And
Okay.
the same thing with YouTube. So it was like, man, we got all these guys we follow in the East Coast or wherever they're from, but I was like, who's repping like that on YouTube in Texas? So I volunteered.
Mm.
Like
Nice.
I want to be an industry leader, a difference maker, somebody who can, you know, give to the industry and make it better, right?
Right on.
And so my thoughts, man, are Party in the Park for us was just a start, but we're going to be doing big events on our own. So the concerts, the frequency of stuff like that's going to increase, and it's already started. I was just hit on the fly, like, hey, we got a new church. Can you come set up and run sound for us? You know? And
Mm.
I'll ride that wave until it's over, until I pivot and move to the next thing. But it was
Right.
like, yeah, this is not an accident right here. That's part of that attraction. It's that thought process of and that vision of, more concerts, more big events hosted by G5 Productions with planned and coordinated entertainment, light shows,
Okay.
getting other vendors involved and just helping and putting on something great for the community. And then from there, man, it takes off from there.
Right. Yeah. Just spreads. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like imagine the person who sat down and thought, man, I could have a DJ conference and I could call it Mobile Beat. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Imagine what the very first Mobile Beat was probably like.
Yeah.
Then what it evolved to by the time you and I got there, Mobile Beat 23.
There it is.
See what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. It blows up.
That's how I think, bro. On that magnitude, like they could do this, we can do this here.
Right on. I love
So
it, though. I love it, man. Hey, man. Let you get back to your deal. I appreciate your time, man. And always, man, I'm always willing to chop it up with you, though, man. I love it.
yeah, right on, man. It's all good and great success to you always, Greg.
Hey, you'll see me, man, and I'm pretty sure I'll see you accomplishing 2021 goals.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Gerald.
All right.
All right.